Hey guys, Volatile Explosion aka Costa here, and we're going to quickly go over how you make a 10 out of 10 game in Game Dev Tycoon. Now it's actually really simple. The most important part is that your last best game is a benchmark, right? Let's say your last 9 out of 10 game, if you make the exact same game with the exact same design and tech points, that game will pretty much become an 8 out of 10 game. Because the game caps you so that you can never really be the best. Like, first off, more training in tech, design, and speed will make your game just better, because a game that has more tech and design will be a better game. So no matter what, if you train your guys, you will make better games, no matter what, really. So that's the most important issue, is upgrade your tech and design. Now, going back to talking about how a benchmark, like your best game will always be a benchmark. So let's say you make a 10 out of 10 game. If making the same game, it's not going to be 10 out of 10. You always have to keep surpassing your old best game in order to get a 10 out of 10. So what people would do a lot of the time is they would purposely make a game not perfect so that it would get like 8 out of 10. And then train their guys up a lot, and then create like an 11 out of 10 game just instantly, and make a bunch of money and get the achievement. Now, the other important part is this. As you can see here in the background, we have been looking at tables and graphs and everything like that. So this website, I will put in the description. It'll tell you everything you need to know about making a 10 out of 10 perfect game. Like this link specifically. So here you can see all of the topics and what they do well in. An airplane action, simulation, strategy, and casual game is really good for either young or everyone, but it's not as good for mature people. Now, to make a 10 out of 10 game a little bit easier, you would want to do an airplane action game instead of an airplane adventure game. Now, this is only a slight increase. The main one is making sure your research and design is higher than the rest, right? Like, make sure that your new 10 out of 10 game will be better than your old 10 out of 10 game, or 9 out of 10. So yeah, this first table will pretty much just have all the topics and what they're good in. If you really want to shoot for a 10 out of 10, I would say aim for this. Another thing you don't want to do is you don't want to keep repeating topics, and you don't want to keep repeating genres, because that will hurt your chance of getting a 10 out of 10 game. If you keep making action games, they will be like, the reviews will say, you know, he keeps making action games, nothing new, 7 out of 10. So you might not want to do that. The same with multi-genres. And here we have all of the systems with all of the genres and audiences. So let's say you're going to make a play system game, make sure it's a RPG or an action, and it's also for everyone, because that will give you your highest chance at making a 10 out of 10 game. Now we keep going. Oh yeah, this one. Now we're going to look at design and tech. This is less important because no matter what, you're probably going to eventually end up having all your characters have pretty much the exact same amount of design and tech. So this isn't really all that useful. Now this is what matters. The genres and the tech and design ratio. It doesn't really matter too much, but let's say if it does, you'd want to have someone with, let's say, more tech and design, more tech than design on here, but that honestly, that doesn't really matter. You might just want to follow these stages, you know, put max engine if you're making an action game, make sure your gameplay's at this level, and make sure your story and quest is really low. If you follow these sliders when making the game, it'll be a lot better than if you were not to. Now here's the very complicated one, the cross-genre. So this is going to be all the action, simulation, all the cross-genres. And here is it. I'm not obviously going to go over every table because you can do that yourself, because I will put the link in the description, I say again. Really trying not to forget. But pretty much here it's like, okay, let's say I'm making a action-adventure game. My engine and my gameplay, same levels. Story and quest will be about the middle. The dialogue will be almost at the very bottom. My level design in the middle. My AI, almost at the top. World design, middle. Sound, middle. Graphics, almost at the top. Now, you'll want to definitely follow these graphs if you're trying to make a perfect 10 out of 10 amazing game. And another important part is, of course, making sure you don't overwork your workers, because that is pretty important. Again, genre, action, if you wanna, this is pretty much if you wanna put like a raw number to it, 100% gameplay, 80 or 100% engine, 80% gameplay, 0% story and quests. Yeah, you can really follow whichever table you want. This one's probably a little bit easier because it does give you an exact amount, and that is honestly pretty much all you need to know. The most important thing was outdo your last game in tech and design, because tech and design training for your guys will be the biggest boost in making a 10 out of 10 game. So make sure you do all that, and honestly, you'll probably make a pretty good game. But it is impossible to make your very first game 10 out of 10 just because your guys are not trained enough for it yet. And honestly, it wouldn't happen because you can't train without research points early on, and you're not going to have that. So guys, that's the end of this video. To replace my 2-year-old outdated video that was just a stream cap, really. And yeah, if you liked it, make sure to subscribe. Check me out on Twitch. I'll be live streaming either Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, no, probably Tuesday. So I will see you guys next time.